We're pressing buttons. We're making things happen. Very excited to be back. It's been a whole 2 days since I saw you last, but it's exciting to be back. Oh, now I forgot to turn off the Wi-Fi, so we're just going to let it see what happens. Hopefully the Wi-Fi, or maybe it just stays on LTE. I don't know. Either way, we are connected. It says good connection on the TikTok. TikTok's having some issues today. I don't know what's going on, but TikTok is not being able to decide whether or not we're supposed to have a Q&A section. So I have two iPhones. I have a work iPhone, I have a personal iPhone. Both of them have access to TikTok, and neither one of them can see the Q&A section. However, on the iPad I can see the Q&A section. So if I'm not getting back to your Q&A questions, the reason is I can't, because I record all my content on iPhone, and I cannot currently get into the Q&A section. So my apologies to anybody who was wondering why they're being ignored, and that's why. Got a hey-o, good morning from Big Jeff Fresh. What's going on, Big Jeff Fresh? It's good to see you. Happy Monday to you. Gorinder says, hello, boss. Hello back to you, sir. Let's see here. Good year, by the way, year of birth. I'm assuming you're born in 74. Good year. Okay. Let's see here. We got Alex.ca with a Monday morning. Carrie, good morning. Alex, good morning. We got 2.ca. Oh, it's the same Alex. Sorry. Boy, two people using their username with a .ca. What a good idea. We got Holy Smokes, good morning. Neon with a good blessed Monday morning. Good morning to you, Neon. Good to see you. We got Q in the room. We Gucci, according to Q. Q's not feeling, 100% today, but is with us. Let's see here. Neon saying hello to Q. Hello from Windsor. What's up, Windsor? I got family in Windsor. I got to come visit sometime soon. Coogan with a good morning. Two French says good morning from Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada. Good morning, Moncton. Do you get in trouble if you accidentally hit a deer? I don't know anybody who actually intentionally hits a deer, but do you get in trouble? I mean, I'm assuming you've smoked your car. It's an insurance thing, but it's not you won't get charged for hitting a deer. They jump out in front of you. Let's see here. Good morning from Nicholas Chase. Mindy Burke with a good morning. Let's see here. Holy Smokes wants to know if I'm a Maple Leafs fan. Am I a fan of the Maple Leafs? I am a fan of Toronto, and by association, I'm a Leafer. But I'm not actually a hockey guy. I don't watch organized sports. I used to love playing sports, but I don't much have time for. I'm a dad. Well, I watch cartoons with my kids. We're watching The Thundermans on the Disney Channel right now. My kids have found their new favorite show, and they like the dad jokes are strong, so that's what we are spending a lot of time on. The Thundermans. If you haven't seen it, it's actually far more entertaining than I gave it credit for. We got Tajinder saying, good morning, how are you? I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Ravneet Singh, good morning. Good morning to you. We have Manpreet saying, what's the question here? Just jumped ahead. Okay, wait. I'm an AZ truck driver, but my license expired. Can I renew it online? Your AZ, you need to double check with them because there may be a physical required. I don't know if you're going to need, if you're going to be able to do that online. Mully with a good morning. Why are my epaulets green? My epaulets are, let me turn to the appropriate side, are camouflage. Yeah, these were designed in cooperation with or in collaboration with the Canadian Armed Forces, and they represent, it's a fundraising thing for military veterans. Essentially, we raised $20,000 or over $20,000 to support veterans' causes in the city of Toronto. So wearing them is to say that I support military veterans and current serving personnel that are deployed. Even if you're not deployed, if you're a soldier, I support you. I appreciate and am thankful. I'm also wearing a poppy because I remember the fallen, and show respect to all those that have been involved in conflicts since World War I. It's we don't like the idea of losing people. It doesn't matter what side or if there are even sides anymore. But yeah, Thunderman for life. Nicholas is I'm apparently a fan. Okay, let's see here. Moose Jaw. Who's a Moose Jaw? Marty Moose is in Moose Jaw? Let's see here. Okay. How do I apply for a G1? You go into a ministry. So I started reading things. I just went right into it. But I generally don't spend time in the chat room. I actually go into the Q&A section, which, by the way, the outside of the chat Q&A seems to be broken for me. But I can get all your messages in the Q&A. So I'm going to do a quick switch. We have a bunch of magical moderators. They are here trying to keep it classy by making sure nobody spams the chat. So our moderators are not police officers. They are civilians. They are volunteers. Please be kind, and please don't spam. I'm going to switch channels, and that I'm not going to pay attention to the chat anymore. I'm going to go into the Q&A. If you want me to see it, I'll be in the Q&A. Now, who am I? Because there's 223 people in the room, and you may not know who I am. My name is Sean Shapiro. I am a police constable with the Toronto Police Service here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I go live on TikTok. We're also simulcasting. Not only are we on TikTok right now, we are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn. Did I get everybody? I think we got them all. And regardless of where you are watching, you can access me through chat. So if you're on Twitch, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, if you make a message, you will be seen on screen, like Sean Chen, who said hi. Hey Sean, how you doing? Good to have you back. We've got Q who's chatting away here with the morning to everybody in the YouTube side of things. We've got folks where are folks coming in right now? We got folks on every platform. We got folks on Facebook. Actually, we don't have people on Twitter. So I don't actually, and no Instagram, because Instagram does not work with our technology. We use Restream. Restream does hang on one second. Let me just, what am I looking for? I looked over here because I wanted to see something. Oh, I wanted to see if we are currently retweeted appropriately on the Twitter. We've been having some problems with Twitter. Oh, no, it's working on Twitter. Cool. That's the voiceover cop side of things. Let me see if it worked on. Yeah, it worked all the way around. Awesome. So we are everywhere, but Instagram we're not, because Instagram Live doesn't work with Restream. And I am ordering a dual tripod head thing, so I can put two phones side by side, and if the amount of radiation that'll be coming out of all the phones and technology I have in front of me isn't too overwhelming, I may try having may try having a second phone side by side and do an Instagram live stream too. So we're gonna play with it. We'll see what happens. We have a question from the chat asking, let's see here. What happens if you get rear-ended but don't have insurance? Well, if you don't have insurance and you get rear-ended, you're in big trouble, because you're going to get charged for drive no insurance, which comes with a fine of $5,000 to $25,000 on conviction here in Ontario. You are mandatory. You are required, if you have a vehicle, to have insurance. Now, there may still be some coverage because the driver who hit you likely has insurance, because we're assuming they actually follow the law, even if they're bad drivers. So get some insurance. Neon says, boop his nose, everybody. He's saying double tap that screen on TikTok. TikTok alone, you don't need to tap your laptop. That does nothing. But if you double tap TikTok, it tells the algorithm that you like us, that we're doing something that's all right. So yeah, it just basically brings more people to the party. Let's see what people are asking here on the TikTok. Let's see here. Hit and run. What is the question here? Hit and run. If vehicle on fault isn't found. Ultimately, if it's a hit and run and you put in a report and it's deemed a hit and run, are you going to be put at fault? Well, your insurance is going to pay for everything. Is it going to be at fault? It's going to depend on the investigation. Chances are, if it was a fail to remain, you're not going to be held at fault, but your insurance is still going to be a claim. So hopefully they find the driver. But at the end of the day, if it's a hit and run, you should report it, because hopefully we're going to find them. Okay, a message from Q saying, if you are interested in becoming a member of the Toronto Police Service, you can join, because we hire people. www.tps.ca/careers is the place to go. All the information you ever wanted to know and more about becoming a member of the civilian side of things. So whether you want to be a clerk or an IT person, you can do that. You can also go in and choose information about how to become a volunteer, and of course, how to become a police officer. All that information is there, including how to apply. Okay, when can I take my G2 test? So if you have your G1 and you've had it for a year, you can take the G2, assuming you can book a test. Additionally, if you have a professional instruction, you've taken a course that's approved, that knocks the required wait time down to 8 months. Get a little sip of my Timmy's. Okay. Is ride on a motorcycle with one hand illegal? Well, if nothing else in your body is touching the motorcycle, that might be a problem. But if you're sitting down, feet firmly planted on the pegs, and you're using one hand, no, it's not illegal. Is it the safest thing to do? Do you need both hands to operate the brakes and clutch? Sure, but if you take your hand off the handlebars for a moment, it is not illegal. I mean, how do you open up your visor? It's reasonable. Let's see here. Good morning from Will. Good morning, Will. Nice to see you. Is there a quicker way they see? Oh, okay. So to follow up to the G2 question, it's first come, first serve. There's new tests being released every single day. They hire new testers. They've had a whole bunch of testing locations that have been added. So whether you use the way of checking constantly throughout the day or just check once a day, know that first come, first serve is in effect. So if it's gone, it's gone. So I know people have been doing it from 5 a.m. every day, and I knew because they successfully got their tests booked. In that they started at 5 a.m., they checked every 15 minutes or so, and they got their test dates. You may need to check a location that wasn't your first pick. Maybe you have to go to a neighboring location or city, but you can do it. If you need to do it, you'll get it done. Oh, I can't wait for my new machine that will give me sound effects. Okay, what are the rules in Ontario about window tint? The rules in Ontario about window tint are this. In order to be certified, mechanics would check this, and you can verify that this is accurate, that you should have no more than 30% light blockage. 30% light blockage to your windows, which means you can't have tint that restricts more than 30% light. You have to have 70% that comes through. Front window, you can have nothing come through on your front window. No, let me rephrase that. You can have no tint on your window because you cannot obstruct your driver's view, as well as the fact you can't obscure the interior of the vehicle. But it's zero for the front windshield of a motor vehicle unless your vehicle is manufactured 2016 or older. If it was manufactured before 2016, you're okay. To have at least a 3-inch bar across the top that's called a brim or brow or a tint strip. That's 3 inches or the PS1 line, whatever happens first. And the back window, you can do what you want. The rear passenger windows, you can do what you want. The deal is that while that's for safety and you can't get safety with that, you can still get a ticket even if you have that. And I say that because it's safety okay, but you cannot have tint that is either color-coded or reflective on a vehicle for the purposes of obstructing or obscuring the interior of the vehicle. So if an officer observes the vehicle and says, I can't see the driver, whether it's because of atmospheric conditions, being that it's foggy, dark, whatever, I can't see the driver, I can lay the ticket for obscure interior vehicle with color-coded or reflective tint. So two things that don't work together exactly. Yes, you can have it under certain circumstances, or you can have it safety and you're okay there, but you can still get a ticket if it's too dark. So I would not put dark tint on your vehicle and avoid the aggravation. How long do speeding tickets affect your insurance? That's an insurance question. I have no idea how long they will affect you. However, they will stay on your record from 3 years from the date of conviction. For the conviction will stay. Your points, however, will stay for 2 years from the date of the offense. I want to look over here to Jeremy Blankstein, who says, I saw a man riding a motorcycle who had only one arm. I am guessing all of his controls were put on the side on which his arm was. You know, it could have been an automatic motorcycle as well. Certainly there's all sorts of equipment and motorcycles and both modifications that can be made to help people who are differently abled to participate in all sorts of things. So very cool. I've never seen that, but awesome. Mind you, I have seen people who are without without legs who are riding. They're riding trikes or modified motorcycles that have, they have like landing gears that come out when you slow down. So amazing technology that allows people to be involved and do things. It's great. Okay. Rules for Newfoundland plates. I don't know what the rules for Newfoundland plates are, mostly because I'm not in Newfoundland. I speak to Ontario law because I'm a police officer in Ontario, and rules about the license plates there may be different. And I don't want to give you bad information. So, unfortunately, I can't help you there. What is this? Someone asked about the law on green lights for firefighters. They are for volunteer firefighters. It is not a requirement by law to pull over. However, it's a human thing. You should pull over to get out of the way so that they can get by you and go save a life or a house or a car, whatever the case may be. They're on their way to an emergency. So it is a courtesy. You do have to have a appropriate status to use them. If you are misusing it, if you're not a volunteer firefighter, expect to be charged. But so if you see a flashing green light behind you and you're outside of the City of Toronto, because that is not happening in the City of Toronto. Mind you, our command vehicle, the command vehicles for Toronto Fire do have green lights. I've just never seen them in operation. Rules for 15-year-olds driving in parking lots. Well, they're not licensed, so really they shouldn't be behind the wheel of a car anywhere. But the Highway Traffic Act, for that portion of law that requires a driver's license, isn't enforceable on private property. Now, if they're 15 years old and they're stunt driving, that is a law that would be enforceable on private property. If they're involved in a motor vehicle collision on private property, they'd still have to report it, and failing to do so would result in charges under the Highway Traffic Act. So there's a bunch of stuff. Let's see here. My passenger side headlight is not working. You should get that fixed because it is a charge under the Highway Traffic Act. You must have two headlights that are operating. Failure to do so, if you're driving around with one eye open, the other eye closed, we commonly make comments about headlights being eyes. If you only have one headlight, you could get a ticket. It's $110. No demerit points, though. Okay. Lot of folks. Okay. Laws on green lights for volunteer fighters. We just covered that. I'm okay. Oh, okay. If you're from Newfoundland, how long do you have how long have you got to change it to an Ontario license plate? That I can tell you. 30 days. Once you become a resident in Ontario, you have 30 days to change your license and license plate, registering the vehicle here. So that's a Newfoundland question I can answer. Okay. Can motorcycles split lanes legally in Ontario? No, they cannot. Lane splitting is being deemed unsafe and can be considered careless driving or even dangerous driving, definitely stunt driving. All depends on what's being observed. Okay. Big Jeff Fresh with a statement regarding headlights. Headlight bulbs are usually pretty easy and cheap. YouTube usually has videos, and bulbs are cheap at Canadian Tire. I change my own bulbs. It's quick and easy. Yeah, I usually have a spare bulb with me, and I try and keep a small kit with me. So if I have a headlight or tail light out and I become aware of it because I'm doing a circle check, I don't do it every time I get in the car. Maybe I should, but I don't. And the deal is that you should have a bulb available for you. Know what you need, get it in advance, keep it safe, and when you install them, don't get the oils from your fingers on them. Apparently, they can cause your bulb to burn out prematurely. I don't know if that's rumor or real. In any case, I share it with you. For anyone who's new to the room, my name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police constable with the Toronto Police Service, and I go live here on TikTok answering your traffic and police questions every day that I'm working. So this week it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because I'm off Friday. And the following Monday. But what else can I tell you? I'm also currently broadcasting on YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook because we do that. Let's see here. Here's a message, a follow-up from Jeremy. On the weekend, I went out to Niagara, and on the way back, I saw a number of ghost vehicles with no lights on. It seems like the OPP are not going after these people, but it's so dangerous. What can we do as a driver to get someone to turn on their lights? It's a great question, Jeremy. Many people don't realize, or they're relying on the fact that their vehicle has automated lighting that turns on for them. If they take it to a mechanic who turns it off all the way, then they don't realize that they got to put them back on. When they get their car back, and in doing so, they tend to drive around with their complete headlight system off, or they're borrowing a car and their own car has automatic lights. Whatever the reason is, pay attention. Make sure your lights are on. Just because your dashboard lights up doesn't mean that your headlights are on. Now, how do you communicate with someone? I have tried to pull up to someone at a light and explain to them that their headlights are off. I've tried high beaming people. I've tried Morse code. Doesn't work. Do your best, but you don't want to get into a situation when you are creating a traffic problem yourself by trying to engage them. And certainly, you don't want to scare anybody. So, one thing you can do if you think it's really dangerous is you can make a note to yourself and call it in if you really think it's super dangerous. Certainly a ghost car is dangerous, but it's not a 911 call in my opinion. 911 is for emergencies. If you deem it to be an emergency, you can certainly call it in. If you're on the highway, Star OPP will get you to their dispatcher. They probably won't be able to get someone to you in time to have them turn the lights on, but it all depends on what you deem is the level of concern that you have. Okay.
You ready?
Am I ready? Go ahead.
Okay. Does the insurance liability slip name have to be have to match the one on the registration?
You need to provide proof of insurance. It does not have to be proof of insurance that you are the driver and eligible. It has to be proof of insurance for the vehicle in Ontario. It could be different in other provinces. So if you provide it, if you're borrowing your mom's car, your mom's name will be on the insurance likely, not yours. So no, your name doesn't have to match. The vehicle has to be listed, but not the name of the person. And that's pretty much it for that question. Now, although you may not get a ticket for doing that, if you were involved in a collision and you provide insurance and you're not named on the policy, the insurance company may have issue with it, especially if you live with the owner and you aren't listed as an occasional driver. But that's between the registered owner and the insurance company. It's not a police concern. Okay. Was that the only one that came forward with a question?
Chat's been really good. They've been using the QA more often than
No
the chat.
way. That's awesome. That's great. Q&A is not working on our main channel for whatever reason. I can see it on my iPad, but not my iPhones. And it is working within the chat, so that's awesome. Okay.
We have one that we haven't answered in so long.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me, is it
illegal
about...
Wait, what?
I was going to say, is it about tint?
No. Is it illegal to drive barefoot? Heels are a killer.
Oh, is it illegal to drive barefoot? No, it is not illegal to drive barefoot, although it's not advisable. Having a flat shoe as an alternative to your high heels would be advisable, but it's not illegal. So I always say when you're going to go slam that brake pedal in emergency, you might hurt your toesies. So I wouldn't want to drive barefoot, but you can legally. Let's see here. HOV, let's see here. We got a multi... question here. HOV, he tried to pass me, went around to brake 5 times. How should I report him? I only see this portion of your question. I don't see the whole question. So if you have someone that's doing something dangerous and you have dash cam camera footage, or even if you don't, you can go to our website, or you can go to the I don't know if the OPP takes online, but with City of Toronto situations, you can certainly go to our core. So it's www.torontopolice.on.ca/CORE. I give you the full one because TPS.C doesn't seem to work to that particular page. You can make reports about individual drivers there. Now, if it happened on the highway, reporting it to the Toronto Police doesn't make sense. It should be the OPP that you should report them to. I just don't know if they have an online alternative to reporting at this time. Sandals are better in the summer. Saucy, sandals are not bad if they secure to your feet, but if they are flip-flops or tongs that just go between your toes, they tend to slip off very easily and can get lodged behind pedals. Also not a good idea. So, flats or lace-up shoes are something that's going to secure properly. Best option, but barefoot still works legally. Is it illegal to drive with only one hand on the wheel? Well, according to my driving instructor, it was punishable by death. No, it's not illegal to drive with one hand. It is less safe than two hands, but you are allowed to shift gears. There's one hand has to come off to do that, so it's not illegal to drive with one hand on the wheel. Okay. Requirements for switching to Ontario license from Newfoundland. If you have a full license to full license, it should be a direct swap. There's an agreement between I can't speak today, between provinces. But I don't know anything else beyond that. Just fill out the application, I imagine. But check with the MTO. They'll have all the details for you. I got a Matthew Smith undercover who would like to know if he can ask a question. So if you have a question, bring it, and we'll look at your question. Okay. Let's see here. Can I put the phone in my lap if I'm using maps? If you're putting it in your lap, you're eligible for a ticket. You cannot be using your phone actively, and in your lap is considered actively by the courts. So even if your phone was turned off in your lap, it could be eligible for a ticket and conviction, based on my experience. What should you do? You should buy a proper mount. You should set it and forget it, and that's set your destination prior to leaving and getting on the road, because you're not allowed to touch the phone even when it's in GPS mode. It's only for viewing. It's the time that you're allowed to look at the screen while it's active in that GPS mode, but not actively using it. Additionally, if you're going to be answering a call or hanging up on a call, those are the only times you're allowed to touch your phone while it's in use and you're on the road. You can't touch it any other time unless you're legally parked. Legally parked doesn't mean in the gear of park. It means in a spot where you could legally leave your vehicle and not get ticketed. So no parking zones would still make you eligible for a ticket. Matthew hasn't come back with his question. He's either writing a book or he's changed his mind. Okay. Okay, we have the safe driver, who is the magic. I keep calling him the magical man from Happy Land. I don't know why, but I was thinking about it this morning. Drive, he says, drive to be ready for the unexpected. 2 hands, please. Yes, it is definitely more safer. It is definitely suggested practice, and but not illegal to have one hand off the wheel for for any reason. Now, just so you have some background, the safe driver is not only a driving instructor, he's like a master driving instructor because he teaches driving instructors to be driving instructors. He's also a former judge on Canada's Worst Drivers, so he's seen people with one-handed driving and how well they do. He's also a podcaster, so check him out, the safe driver. He's a TikToker. He's soon to be a YouTuber. He's also a blogger. Anyway, he's everywhere. The safe driver, check him out, follow him, and he's a regular guest when we do our 10:15 show, which has not come back to air yet. But we will be doing that soon if all goes to plan. In any case, his name is Scott Matthews. Did I call him Scott Matthews? Scott Marshall. I called him by the wrong name. It's okay. I didn't call him Jason Kraft. That happened. We have name issues sometimes. Scott. I keep looking at.
Warrencraft is what you said.
I said Warrencraft last time. I'm just It's like my grandfather who used to call me Shryan because my brother's name is Ryan. So he apparently I'm entering senior mode. Okay, and that's not to bash seniors. It's just anyway. I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna. Are modified exhaust systems legal? Legal depends if they are modified within the confines of what's legal. If you are chopping your muffler, if you're chopping your resonator, if you're removing things like catalytic converters, that is not legal. If you have an aftermarket that is still legal, it's legal. If you make it illegal, it's illegal. It's modification by virtue of the word modification. It doesn't automatically make it illegal. But it could, but it may not. Okay. What if you get insurance 5 minutes? Okay, what if you get insurance 5 minutes after the crash? Well, guess what? Insurance policies don't come into effect in the minute that you ask for them. It's usually the next day, and they will tell you that. And everything is recorded, so there's a total record of when you got the insurance. So it's a good try, but it doesn't work because, you can't travel through time. At least I've not figured it out yet. Who knows? Young drivers made an illegal turn. Who gets ticket? The driver? What do you mean the driver gets a ticket? If someone tells you to do something illegal, even if it's a driving instructor, you get the ticket because you're the driver. Neon following up with the and not over 74 decibels. That is the requirement for sound on a motor vehicle exhaust. At least for a car or truck, I assume. Motorcycles can be a little bit louder. And 92 decibels is the idle rate for the City of Toronto bylaw. And yeah, it's a thing. And Neon, I got your message. I'll connect with you after the show. How does ETR work for payment? The ETR 407 ETR is an express toll road. You create an account and you put your credit card on it, and they send you bills and you pay them. But beyond that, I don't know what you mean. They have a transponder in the car. Maybe that's what you mean. If you don't have a transponder, they send you a bill to your house or to your registered your registered address where your license is. Okay. Well, that's cute. Not Matthew Smith has created an account using my name or my face. That's cute. I didn't mean to actually do that. Let me just quickly block the user because that's silliness. Okay. Do points reset? Yes, they do. They reset after 2 years from the date of the offense. So, that's how they work. Do police have to pay for the 407? Police vehicles, government vehicles are exempt. They do not have to pay for the 407. However, our personal vehicles, we do have to pay. Okay. Is it a ticket for 20 over? Yes, it is. You can be ticketed for any speed over the posted speed limit. It's illegal to speed, thus you can get a ticket. Neon wants me to remind people who I am, just in case you forgot. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police constable of the Toronto Police Service, and I go live here on TikTok answering your police and traffic questions. We have 74 people in the room, 4.3 thousand likes. If you double tap that screen on TikTok in particular, you will let other people in TikTok on TikTok know that what we're doing, and they should be here too. Is it illegal to have no muffler? Yes, it's illegal to have no muffler. It's part of having a proper muffler. You have to have one in order to, drive on the road. So mufflers, resonators, part of your exhaust system. You also need to have a catalytic converter. Not having one of those actually is a more serious offense. It goes to, what's it called? The Environmental Protection Act. Was having one of those moments. How much can you lower your car? You can lower it until it's unsafe, and that depends on a number of things. One easy way to know is if you make any body or frame contact at any point during the travel or turning of your steering wheel. Your suspension system has to be functional. It serves a purpose beyond looking cool or not looking cool. And if we cannot compress or on compression do make body contact, or if we can't compress because it's solid as a rock, these are all indicators that your suspension isn't working the way it's supposed to. I've seen some crazy videos of vehicles trying to drive up their own driveways that have like 3-inch rises and 2 of the tires come off the ground. That's not safe. So yeah, don't lower your car so much so that it becomes unsafe, because then you lose your license plates, and that's not fun. Neon, who is a mechanic and one of our moderators, may be able to give more specific details in the chat as to what the limits are, if there's specific numbers beyond what I've described just now. You've made me a better driver. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming out here and spending time with us. We're glad that we can answer questions and share all this info with you. That's what we do. We're here all about the education, all about the safety. And I put up a video this morning, and I hope that we get a ton of stitches for it, because basically I'm interested in knowing how you think we should prevent people from distracted driving. How can we get people to, how do we dissuade people, get them interested in not using their phones while driving? Because it's been years and years that it's been against the law, and yet every day we catch people doing it. And it went from a $125 ticket, now it's $615 with 3 demerit points and a 3-day suspension on conviction, and yet we still see people every single day using their cell phone while they're operating motor vehicles. So what do you think we should do to dissuade people from doing it? Let me know by stitching the video that I posted this morning, so we can see everybody's lovely faces telling us their opinions. It's a way to create great content, is share the opportunity with you. Why do police let drivers go 120 in a 100-kilometer-an-hour zone? I don't know. One of the reasons is I'm not there. No, I stop people for speeding, but there's often people going faster. So if everyone is doing 120 and there are people still going faster, then I understand the reason for picking the fastest of the group. Now, if you decide that you're going to roll your dice and do 120, you might get stopped. You might get charged for doing 120, because that's certainly against the law and does have a 3 demerit consequence aside from whatever the dollar amount is for that speed. But you shouldn't be speeding. No one should exceed the speed limit at any time, save and except for police, fire, and ambulance, who are legally permitted to exceed the speed limit. That's it. Okay. Let us see. Got ticket for tints on my friend's car. Can I fight? You, as the driver, are responsible if you take that vehicle on the road. Can you fight it? Yeah, you can choose to fight it. Will you win? That's another story. If you're operating a motor vehicle that has obscured that the view of the interior is obscured by either reflective or colored tint, you are driving a motor vehicle on the road that's violating that law. So I don't know how you would go about fighting it, at least what your defense would be. Saying it's my buddy's car isn't a defense for that. Any ideas? Ask the sergeant, like, hey, don't drive cars with dark tint. That would be the best excuse, or at least the best advice. This is a great question. Can you tint a windshield with a doctor's note for migraines? No, you can't. There's no medical exemption in Ontario for front window tint. You can, however, wear sunglasses, and that would that's it. There's no option for medical exemptions. Let's see here. Newfoundland doesn't have G2 like Ontario. Is it required? If you're a fully licensed driver, regardless of how you got there, they'll gauge your experience individually. So if you got a full license and you've been driving for 4 years or 5 years, they may give you credit towards a G. They may require you to get some level of testing, but you'll need to check with the MTO as to the specifics as to what you'll have to do based on your specific situation. Why is tint ticketed? Well, you're not allowed by law to obstruct or obscure the interior of the vehicle because people have to be able to see inside to identify a driver. So if you've made it so you cannot see a driver, you've broken the law. Additionally, you can't obstruct the driver's ability to see out. It's less safe, especially at night. Pedestrians, unfortunately, don't like getting struck by cars, and having tinted windows can sometimes add to that situation where it's less safe. So that would be the reason why. Police need to be able to see, public needs to be able to see inside to identify vehicles and drivers. Can't have a blacked out window. Okay, how long have I been a police officer? To start doing math. I've been a member of the Toronto Police Service since 2000, so we're in my 21st year. In terms, actually 21 years completed, we're in my 22nd year. In terms of how long I've been a police officer, I patched over from court officer in 2012. So I'll let you do the rest of the math. Let's see here. It's 9 years. Okay. What to do in Amber Alert to help? Listen to the description of what the Amber Alert is. Keep your eyes open. If you're on the road and you are notified of an Amber Alert, look for the vehicle. And if you find the vehicle, don't interact with them. Call police. You can pay attention to what's going on and notify police immediately, because we want to find and help the child that is in danger, and which is why Amber Alerts happen. It's to notify and help find children who have been taken. Okay. What is this? Q&A only accept? Oh. Okay. So just a question, for anyone who's answering questions from the mods, or if moderators are answering questions, please. What is this? Someone in chat is answering. So I don't know who's answering, but if you're getting answers from people who are not moderators, they may not be the right answer. So that is the tidbit there. We have moderators. They are volunteers. They are members of our team. But they are not police officers, but they are here so much. They hear me repeat the same questions day in, day out. They're a trusted source. If they are not moderators, I don't know who they are, and I don't know if their answers are correct. And likely they are not. And I've been told that somebody is specifically posting incorrect information, so be careful. Be careful with the information you get. If you drop it in Q&A, you're going to get an answer from me. Okay. What happens if your license plate is obscured? You're not allowed to obscure your license plate. It's a charge under the Highway Traffic Act. So whether it be a tinted or clear visor, or even a frame that covers any portion of your plate is an obstruction, and you could be charged under the Highway Traffic Act. It's a $110 ticket. I have my G2 and it's fully booked, and my license, and I don't see the rest of your question. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the rest of your question is. I'm assuming saying you're having a difficult time. You're having a difficult time getting your stuff booked. I can tell you that you have until December 31st, 2022, so you have a little less stress. Even if your license expires before then, your extension is covered until December 31st, 2022. I used to say, I used to catch myself almost saying 32. That would have been a heck of an extension, but it's not. It's 22. Okay. How much weight is considered a commercial motor vehicle? I think it's 4,500 kilos.
That depends if we're talking about vehicles or licenses.
Oh, it depends if we're talking about vehicles or licenses. So he's saying commercial vehicle.
It depends if it's a truck.
Oh.
Truck and trailer combination.
So we got Sergeant Campbell, who's got he's saying it depends. So the answer is it depends. Like a tow truck, which is under the weight, is a commercial vehicle because it's a commercial vehicle, not because of a weight. So it depends on the situation. And as a sergeant was just saying, it depends if it's a truck or trailer combination, if it's, are you rating it? But generally speaking, it's under 4,500 kilos. But there are, I'll read the subsection because Q just threw it on my screen. A commercial motor vehicle as defined in subsection 1, sub 1 of the Act, other than a bus having a registered gross weight of 4,500, not more than 4,500 kilos. A bus that's used for personal, okay, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. But it depends. It's good that it's not an easy answer. Well, we wouldn't need to be here if there was an easy answer. So tell me what your specific stuff is, and we'll try and get you a more specific answer. What's better, 10 and 2 or 9 and 3? 10 and 2 or 9 and 3. You know what? Scott Marshall. Yes, it's true. Scott Marshall, not Scott Matthews. So Scott Matthews is a DC downstairs. By the way, I'm waiting for an update on his post. I'm looking for the stats on, and he must not be in today, looking for the stats on how many people we arrested over the weekend, because there's a video that needs to be made on that. And so 10 to 2, 9 to 3, Scott Marshall, if he's still in the room, the safe driver, I'm sure he has the appropriate answer. I like having my hands on the steering wheel. 10 and 2 is what I grew up doing. 9 and 3, I don't know. 9 and 3 might be the new 10 and 2, but let's hear from Scott, because he is the teacher of the driving. Teacher of the driving. What cartoon did I watch recently that I'm saying teacher of the driving? Okay, that and it answers for that in the comments. I want to know if you know. Okay, what's the rules for open trunk doors? Like driving with a trunk open? Why? I don't think there is an offense for having your trunk open, because there might be a reason. I can't think of an offense. If you leave your trunk open because you have something out, you tie it down, it's still open. I'm not aware of any charge for it. We should make one up. No, I'm not aware of one. Okay. Can I use a custom license plate with the same number? What do you mean? You can't get a custom license plate with the same number as what? So if you were issued a license plate, my father is a good example of this. He got one he really liked. It got destroyed over time. He got a custom plate that was exactly the same one. He paid $500 to get the same license plate issued after turning in his originals. They did that for him. But he had to turn in his first to get a second. It's a personalized, yeah, a vanity plate. Yes. So you can't do that. But I don't know, but do you mean this may be what some people want to know if they can create their own customized plate using the same number as what was issued to them. Some people want to know if they can put stickers on the front bumper that represent a license plate and not display the actual piece of metal. Well, the answer is no, if that's what you were going for. You cannot. And by the way, a response queue, I don't know if you were talking to Scott or not, but 10 and 2 or 9 and 3 are both okay, according. But they wanted to know what was better. Oh, he popped into chat. Cool. Thanks so much. Scott Marshall says same. They're both good. Can we turn off Amber Alert, and is it legal to do? My understanding is you cannot turn it off. You can mute your phone so you don't get woken up in the middle of the night, but disabling the feature is not something you can do. And you want to be aware, because what if it was your child or a family member? You want to be aware. In the event that you're there and have the ability to help, this is good information. You could be the difference between someone, being taken from their family or hurt, kidnapped. You could be the difference between finding them and not. I never want to turn it off, even if I'm annoyed. And every time that I'm angry that I hear it in the middle of the night, I want to be annoyed because I want to know. Why are insurance rates really high in Toronto? Okay. So I'm not an insurance person. Tassos 300 is an insurance person, and he will likely tell you the same thing that I'm telling you. They calculate risk. Insurance is based on risk. They determine how much it's worth and how much risk you pose to the company. They do this by calculating where you are and what kind of driver you are. And the combination of those things ultimately determine a rate. Now, higher risk areas where they have a higher probability of paying out, they charge more. If you live in an area that is lower probability of having a collision, they charge less. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Sarge is nodding. We're good. Okay. What are the rules about bicycle without a helmet? If you're 18, you do not need a helmet. You should have a helmet. It should be law for everybody. However, you are legally able to make the decision to put your computer at risk without a helmet at the age of 18. However, under the age of 18, wait, am I making that? No. Is it 6? I thought you can get the ticket. No, 16. Yeah. Maybe I thought, okay, 16 and under 16, I know the parents can get a ticket. Over 16, I thought you were going to get a ticket yourself. I think you have to be 18. And now I'm questioning myself, but Sarge is going to double check to make sure I'm not making things up. 16 is the law? Q says 16. 16? Okay. We have, I don't know why I think it's 18. In any case, laws are made because safety is a real thing, and you should wear a helmet. So if you're, is it only 16? Come on. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Bicycle, helmet. Looking it up.
Person under 16 not wearing proper helmet on a bicycle.
16.
16.
Nothing 18. Wow. I'm making stuff up. All right. So apparently 16. You should still wear a helmet. Most important thing you do. Okay. Yeah, but the seatbelts is for laying a ticket. It's not just a separate conversation. Q was just saying that it's the same as seatbelts, but seatbelts is different. Everyone gets a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt. It's just if you're under 16, the driver gets a ticket. If you're over 16, the parent gets a ticket. And I thought that was what we were dealing with helmets for a bicycle. I thought if you were under the 18, you got a ticket too. But apparently I'm mistaken. I'm going to have to go reread my section on bicycle helmets. That being said, I've never laid the ticket for not wearing a helmet on a bicycle because basically you just want us to look under the age of before you start dealing with them. In terms of e-bikes, everyone's got to wear a helmet. That one's easier. Okay. Can you get an international license with a G2? An international license is a bit of a strange thing. Yes, you can. You can still go and get a card. The international license is a card that says what everything on your card is in other languages. It's a translation card. It doesn't give you any driving privileges other than when you travel with it into a country that doesn't necessarily have English as a language. They translate it into a whole bunch of other languages and take a photo and say that the information on that is this. So I believe you can, because you can certainly drive into the United States with a G2 as long as you follow all the provisions of your, or conditions, I should say. Is it illegal to have your interior dome light on? It is not illegal. I grew up thinking it was. I was lied to. Okay. Road rules. The road rules? I don't know what you mean. Okay. Okay. Recommendations for a good driving school in the GTA. There's so many, and I can't endorse any one of them in particular. I did mention someone in here is a driving instructor. You might want to speak to them. He's the safe driver. He is not on the platform representing anybody in particular, but he might be able to give you a recommendation. Let's see here. We have you ever been a part of a pursuit experience? Yes, very short-lived. I've had situations where I went to pull someone over and they didn't pull over, which ultimately is a pursuit. And then they pulled over a short while after, like a very short while, because they didn't realize I was there. So it wasn't a pursuit, but it was a pursuit. And then I had an impaired person who was choosing a safer place to pull over. That was sort of a pursuit. I can't say I've been in certainly nothing like a movie pursuit. No, I've just had people who did not stop when they should have stopped, and technically that's a pursuit because you turn the lights on. If you don't pull over as per the rules and regs, yeah, that's a pursuit. And then there's paperwork to put in, all sorts of stuff. What is considered a motor vehicle? A vehicle with a motor is generally the most simplest of answers, but you have here Alexaz. I don't know what Alexaz is. And I think what you mean is, does an electric vehicle qualify? At what point do you mean kick scooters and e-bikes? Because that's a really complicated question. If you want to clarify, I would love to give you an answer. This is very good. So, according to the Criminal Code of Canada, anything that is powered by anything other than muscular power is considered a motor vehicle. However, it gets complicated under the HTA because, for instance, an electric bicycle is a motorcycle, unless it's an e-bike, and it's only an e-bike if it qualifies under the Act by following certain guidelines. For instance, having a maximum speed of 32 kilometers an hour. If it's capable of 33 kilometers an hour, it's a motorcycle requiring license, ownership, and insurance. This is why I say, give me more information, we'll get you an answer.
Even an e-bike is a motor vehicle, but has an exemption.
Right. So Sarge just made rephrased it in that an e-bike is a motor vehicle, but it has an exemption under the HTA, making it a magical bicycle. But truly, it is a motor vehicle. Although skateboards are interesting. It has a motor, and yet they would say it's a motorized something else. Oh, I think so, but there was another terminology that Sergeant Stein had mentioned. He called it something else. And I'm like, okay, we're calling, yeah. What is the range of a speed gun? The effective range? I don't know what the effective range is. The fact is, I've never used it beyond the. I mean, we've clocked things at 500 meters away. I've never pulled anybody over that I can't see, and my eyes don't work at 500 meters. So I'm assuming the average that I saw when I used it was 150, 253. But I probably wouldn't use it beyond that personally. But I don't teach the course. I will have to find out the answer of what the actual proper length or range is. It depends on which device, because every device has a different, effective operating range. Oh, you're gonna get the answer? Oh, you might be getting toys. Oh, or a telephone call. One of the two. Okay. How long do you have to go live for? How long do you go live for? I aim for an hour. Generally speaking, an hour is all I can put into doing this every day. So whenever I'm in the office, we go from 9 to 10. That's always the plan. And sometimes we get cut short because something happens and the boss needs us. And did you find him?
Nope.
Oh, he's not there. We actually have a coordinator of the speed measurement unit. So we were gonna ask what was going on because he's a great guest star. Okay, drifting on property permitted by owner, is it legal? According to the Highway Traffic Act, there is no exemption for private property of any kind. Well, it's not true. There are exemptions for private property, and that is for racetracks. If you have a track, there can be an exemption, but what qualifies as an approved track is still up for discussion. So on your private property, if it's your grass, your driveway, or otherwise, you could technically be charged for stunt driving for drifting on that property. I know it's not a popular answer, but there you go. Can common folk listen to the police band? Depends. Do you like the pipes and drums, or do you mean the radio frequencies that we use to speak? Ours are encrypted, so you can't actually listen to them, but there was a time when you could have, because we don't regulate that, or didn't. Now it's encrypted, and you shouldn't be able to. Okay, we have a question from the chat that Q is bringing forward. It says, red light camera at intersection, but doing a left-hand turn with right-of-way, is the red light camera active once the right-of-way light turns off? So you're talking about an advanced green? Is that what we're talking about? So if you're making a left turn with an advanced green, that's from starting from a stop. Red light cameras are generally going to get you as you approach an intersection at speed, as opposed to start from a stop position and make a left turn. So they're always on, they're always monitoring. Someone reviews all the evidence prior to laying a charge. So it's not just an automated thing that's truly automated. There is an element of folks getting involved to evaluate every situation. Do we need a permit to ride an e-kickboard? E-kickboard, like an e-kick scooter, those are prohibited in the prohibited in the city of Toronto. They are permitted under certain circumstances in municipalities in Ontario that adopted it. So, as someone, Gaw57 just said in the chat, private property only in Toronto. However, Mississauga permits them. So it depends on the municipality, and you can be charged in Toronto for using one. Okay. Do you pull someone over for going 20 over? Yes. Certainly if they're going 20 over in an area outside of the highway. So highway is, first of all, we only have two highways that we focus on. That's going to be the FGX and the DVP. Those are our Toronto highways. Outside of that it's OPP jurisdiction. That's not to say we can't pull someone over, but we tend not to spend time there. In a city street, if you're doing 20 over, that is a considerable excess speed. So if it's a 30 zone, which we have many of now, 20 over is ridiculous. If you're doing, if it's a 50 or 60 and you're doing 20 over, still over 25% over the speed limit, you're going to get stopped. You're going to get charged. Yeah, I might even pull you over for 10 over. Maybe 5 over, depending on where I am. So, yeah, the idea is follow the speed limits. They are there for a reason. The idea is to reduce the level of severity of injuries involving pedestrians, because they are the ones that these speed limits are being reduced to protect, pedestrians and other vulnerable road users. Okay. No license plus stolen plates equals jail time? Jail time is a potential. Well, stolen plates is theft. That becomes criminal. Possession of stolen property, aside from the fact that you're unlicensed. There's probably going to be a no insurance on top of that. No insurance has a possible 6-month jail time that's associated with it. There's a bunch of jail time potentials. Oh, stolen vehicle too. Yeah, batting 1,000. So you're looking at some jail time, I would assume. Probably not a good idea to do any of those things, either on their own or as a combination. Just saying. Okay. Can you drive a power loader from Aliens? Actually, as a police officer, I'm permitted to drive any vehicle, period, regardless if I have a license for it, for the appropriate reason. We have an exemption. Yeah, Q's like, what? Yeah, I can drive a big rig, even though I'm not licensed for it, if there's a reason to justify it. So I will lump in Nathan's question that an alien vehicle, flying saucer, yeah, we're good to go. We're covered under the law. Cool. There you go. Listen, it's been a blast. I've had a lot of fun today. It's been great. Really appreciate all the questions. If you don't already follow us, I should have asked when we had 300 people in the room. But if we don't have, if you don't already follow us, please do. If you have not checked out the video I posted this morning, please do. And if you're interested, if you're willing, stitch it, because I'd love to see a gazillion stitches in response to how you think we should stop distracted driving. How do we get drivers to stop doing what they're doing, which is put the phone down, put it down, because it's dangerous. People are getting hurt. People are getting killed. So please do that. Where are my TPS recruiters at? If you want to become a member of the Toronto Police Service, you should visit www.tps.ca/careers. You can get a hold of our recruiters there. They will help you with information, and the website will help you with information for either civilian jobs, volunteer jobs, or full-on police officer jobs, because we're always hiring. You could be a police officer, that's great, but we have lots of jobs that are civilian, non-uniform, uniform, parking, courts, special constable. We have clerks, we have IT professionals. We have everybody under the sun. What is the difference between OPP and regional police? Well, the OPP is the Ontario Provincial Police. They handle the entire province of Ontario, and they have different roles depending on where they are. In some areas, they handle municipal policing roles. In areas like Toronto, where there is a municipal police service already taking care of that, they handle the highways. They basically handle 400 series highways that travel through our jurisdiction. But that's the biggest difference is they have a bigger area that they cover, and their organization is a different organization. Now there's also the RCMP that handle all of Canada, and they handle municipal policing in some areas as well. But it all depends. But we're all in the same team. We're all trying to keep people safe. They also have different patches. Other than that. What is this? I'll bring you Portuguese custard tarts to eat on live. Hey, listen, we could turn this into a smorgasbord channel. I had some amazing hot sauce over the weekend. I was at Vaughan Mills Mall, took my family there, and we went into a place called the Pepper Palace, which I'd never been to before, and I tried some hot sauce. You can check that out on VoiceOver Cop on TikTok. Did that. And it wasn't hot. I mean, I could taste. I knew what was going on. It had heat, but it wasn't hot. It wasn't like Carol's hot sauce that I've been eating and really enjoying. But what is the deal is with the peppers? Pepper Palace. I bought a container of their horseradish because I took a tablespoon of that or half a tablespoon of that, and I started to melt. I wish I was recording it because that was a visceral response. It was quite intense, and I liked it so much that I bought some, and I can't wait to the holidays to give my dad an opportunity to have a meltdown. So, we'll have to talk about Portuguese tarts and where to get them. I'll try some because food is my friend, or not my friend, one of the two. We got appreciate your work, boss. Thank you very much. Much appreciate your feedback because we're here for you. That is why we do this. Okay, folks, it has been a blast. It's 10 o'clock. I got to go. If you are back tomorrow, we'll see you then because we do this every day that I'm in the office, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And now we're going to go do some other work and create some content and answer some emails, regular office stuff. Have a blast. Stay safe, and we will talk to you all soon.
Bye. We're good.
Okay. We're off there. Just want to make sure that we are good here. For everybody who's on our YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, what else? LinkedIn, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, that's all. I don't know. Thank you. It has been a blast. We will be back tomorrow, and we hope you have a safe and wonderful day. All the best.